Damon, this is going F5 right now.
But I mean, if you are in Moore, I would go ahead and get underground right now. Violent tornado.
39 minutes. It's all gone. A city turned to rubble. An elementary school full of children turned into a crime scene.
The emergency personnel have backed out of the school. They're pulling in more vehicles. They're backing people away. And I understand they're going to start pulling these tiny victims out of the rubble here shortly.
What happened in those 39 catastrophic minutes? Let's rewind. It started like any other Monday. Students were counting down the final hours of the school year, and families were putting the finishing touches on their upcoming summer plans. But high up in the sky, something invisible was taking shape. A dry line, a boundary in the atmosphere where hot, moist Gulf air collides head-on with dry, cooler air pushing in from the west. Meteorologists call this collision zone a breeding ground. Storm chasers call it something else, a warning sign.
Please do not take this lightly. Conditions today are favorable for large, long-track, potentially violent tornadoes.
At around 2 p.m. Central Time, less than 1 hour after forecasters issued a tornado watch, a thunderstorm ignites over northern Grady County. It doesn't build slowly, it explodes. Within minutes, it organizes into a supercell, a rotating engine of wind and moisture that meteorologists have learned to fear more than any other storm on Earth. At 2:56 p.m., on the west side of a small town called Newcastle, the funnel touches ground.
Yeah, you can definitely see that this is a developing situation, developing tornado. There you go. You see it? There you see it. Now it's on the ground.
That's on the ground.
Got a tornado.
Tornado on the ground.
There's a tornado.
At first, it looks almost survivable, a typical tornado. But something is different this time. Within minutes, it strengthens, violently, unnaturally fast, clawing its way up the enhanced Fujita scale toward its most catastrophic rating. The National Weather Service office in Norman is watching every second of it. At 3:01 p.m., they issue what's called a tornado emergency, the most urgent warning in their arsenal.
This is a tornado emergency for Moore and South Oklahoma City. In addition to a tornado, large destructive hail up to tennis ball size is expected with this storm.
This is not a drill. This is not a maybe. A 1-mile-wide killer is now locked onto the city of Moore.
You need to be below ground immediately. Now is the time to go into your tornado shelter. We are not here to scare you.
Residents had roughly 16 minutes of lead time before the tornado struck their neighborhoods. 16 minutes to gather your children. 16 minutes to get underground. 16 minutes to say a prayer. Now the clock is running. By 3:15 p.m., the tornado has grown into a full EF5, the highest, most violent classification a tornado can receive. Wind speeds now exceed 200 miles per hour. It is now 1 mile wide, and the first target in its path as it bore down on Moore's most densely populated neighborhood was Briarwood Elementary School.
Almost over! It's almost over! Look at me!
Teachers and students huddled together in the school's hallways and restrooms. The children were terrified, sobbing in the dark.
The ceiling tiles fell, and I was very scared.
The tornado clips the building directly. The roof is torn away, walls collapse, and when the dust finally settled, every single child at Briarwood had miraculously survived. But just a 4-minute drive away, Plaza Towers Elementary was not so fortunate.
Guys, as you're tracking this, we got to tell you, a school down in Moore. We know a school in Moore has been hit, an elementary school.
We're also getting word that some kids may be trapped.
The wall fell down, and it was immediately just so crushing of a feeling. I immediately thought, we're gone. We're gonna die. It was immediate.
Karen Marinelli, a first-grade teacher, shielded 3 students beneath her body. Moments later, a 2,000-pound car slammed into the adjacent brick wall, burying all 4 under crushed masonry and steel.
I just continuously prayed that we would make it through. The weight of the wall wouldn't come down anymore.
The children walked away without a scratch. Karen took the full impact, suffering a broken back, multiple fractures, and severe ligament damage. Just steps away, Jennifer Doan, a pregnant third-grade teacher, made the same choice, using her body to shield 11 students.
I had my arms over the ones my arm over the ones next to me because they were.
But luck wasn't on her side. When rescuers pulled her from the rubble, her sternum and spine were broken. 7 of her students did not survive.
The emergency personnel have backed out of the school. They're pulling in more vehicles. They're backing people away. And I understand they're going to start pulling these tiny victims out of the rubble here shortly.
We did everything we could for them. I just hope they're okay and safe. I wish I could have done more.
2 elementary schools flattened, nearly 100 injured, 7 students dead. But the destruction was far from over.
David, I think the Moore Medical Center took a direct hit of this tornado.
Moore Medical Center, the monster tornado's next target. Nearly 300 people are inside. Doctors are moving patients into a central clinic room, piling mattresses and blankets over their heads. And in the middle of all of it, a newborn baby, barely 60 minutes old, doesn't even have a diaper on yet. Nurse Cheryl Stopker wheels the infant and his exhausted mother into a windowless cafeteria on the ground floor.
I climbed back up into my wheelchair and they proceeded to try to push us out. We went down one hallway and there was, the wall was completely down.
She gets down on the floor, pulls the baby into their laps and holds on. They pray, they survive. Miraculously, every single patient, every staff member, every newborn baby inside Moore Medical Center walks out alive. The building itself does not. When the storm finally passed, the hospital was nearly unrecognizable. Twisted metal, concrete, and sheetrock were scattered about. Roofs were torn off, and walls were barely standing. But elsewhere, the casualties kept mounting. 7-Eleven, Southwest 4th Street, and Telephone Road.
Here, it's completely wiped out. There's just trash, shelves, some of the structure that has just collapsed on top of each other.
A gas station convenience store that moments earlier was full of ordinary people buying snacks and gas. Now panic erupts. Desperate customers crowd into the walk-in freezer. It isn't enough.
3 people died, including a woman and her 3-month-old baby. They tried to take shelter in a freezer here and didn't make it.
Bree jumped on top of Megan and the baby, and I jumped on top of Bree, and the wall came down, and I don't remember.
Survivors E.H. Pittman tried to protect one of his co-workers covering Megan Farrell and her 4-month-old son, but they died from the store. Pittman, who spent 13 months in Afghanistan, is now paralyzed.
And I kept telling them about Megan and her baby. They hadn't found either one of them.
And then you went to Norman, to the hospital?
At 3:35 p.m., by the time the tornado finally dissipates near Lake Stanley Draper, it has carved a scar 13.85 miles long across the Oklahoma landscape. 24 people are confirmed dead. 212 more are injured. Nearly 1,150 homes are gone. The total damage, $2 billion.
This is more extensive and more total destruction from this tornado than I've seen in those. It is a much wider scene. Big piles of debris are all that are left.
A lot of screaming kids, a lot of crying kids, a lot of broken hearts.
Today, 13 years on, Moore stands rebuilt. New homes, new schools, new hospital eventually rose in the area to serve the community again. But Moore has never stopped honoring the people who ran toward danger instead of away from it. Rhonda Crosswhite, the teacher who shielded 6 children with her own body in a bathroom stall and told them she'd never let them go. Jennifer Doan, who returned to teaching, flashbacks and all because her students needed her. Karen Marinelli, as the wall collapsed, shielded 3 young students beneath her body. E.H. Pittman, a soldier who threw his body over a co-worker, shielding a mother and her baby, and paid for it with the use of his own legs. And countless other unsung heroes who, in the heat of danger, chose to save others over themselves. 24 lives were lost on May 20th, 2013. But because of 16 minutes of warning, and because of ordinary people who chose courage in the worst 39 minutes of their lives, hundreds more are alive today to tell this story. If this story moved you the way it moved us to research it, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel keep telling stories like this one. Drop a comment and let us know which part hit you hardest. And if you want more deep dives into the disasters that changed America forever, make sure you're subscribed because we're just getting started.